I do want to start with this video from JB, and let's listen. It's not even, it's like 24 seconds. Let's listen to what JB says here.
This week has definitely solidified what I know the policy of the West is. It is always okay to stand your ground unless you're black or brown. Free Palestine.
So now let's go to some of the protest coverage. This is Nick at the KC event, and it says, the quote, I'll read and then I'll play the video. We have journalists among us. 7 journalists from Gaza have been killed. Just yesterday, 3 were targeted and 1 of them died. Where is the uproar? From the Free Palestine March in KC. Let's listen here.
Crime after international war crime. We have journalists among us today. 7 journalists in the Gaza Strip have been killed. Just yesterday, 3 of them were targeted, 1 of them died. Where is the uproar? Where is people's thoughts and prayers? We are here to be their voice, and we will not stop yelling. We will not stop chanting. We will not stop rallying until there's an end to the occupation which started this mess to begin with. We will not stop until the siege on Gaza Strip is lifted, and we will not stop until the U.S. stops indiscriminately funding the Zionist terrorist war machine. We will continue to be out here as long as it takes, but this is one voice of many. You need to be the voice of the people of the Gaza Strip. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Wow, so Nick getting some great coverage. Like this is one of these movements. People have been waiting kind of just like for a tipping point on this topic to really, because how people have come out in masses at the drop of a dime with this happening in masses to protest is very similar to the George Floyd sort of protest that happened. So let's get some other receipts here. So that's one video of Nick. Is pictures and video. So some videos, some pictures. 649 of our kids have been buried. Every single one of these speeches at the Kansas City Free Palestine protests were tear jerkers, man. You can feel the pain in their voices, truly heartbreaking. Let's listen to this one here.
Children have been killed. 649. That's this morning. You see how the numbers of our children dying change by the hour? 649 of our kids had to be buried. 649 just this week. In 2008, it was 346. In 2014, it was 540. When will the world care? Enough is enough. We are here to deliver the voice of Palestinians and deliver the voice of the Gaza Strip. We need people to be aware of what is happening. What is happening right now is a catastrophe, but don't let anyone tell you a lie and tell you that this is a religious war. There are Christians among us today. There are Jews among us today. And if they were to go in front of the Zionist war machine, they would be spat at. We have been dehumanized. Enough is enough. We are not animals like that Zionist terrorist president of theirs called us. We are not animals. We are human beings. And we care about what is happening to them. Takbir! Takbir!
This is all Nick so far. We're still at the KC March and the Kansas City March. So the caption reads, 94-year-old Palestinian gave us a history lesson and explained the horrors he faced due to the genocidal state of Israel, his entire life was a great speech. Here's about 3 minutes of it. This is Nick. Okay, so let's listen. He says this is a great speech. He didn't catch all of it, but this is 3 minutes of that speech. This person's a 94-year-old Palestinian.
Peaceful people. We love our children. We love our women. We do not.
So turn your volumes up because I can hear, but if I really keep quiet, it is a 94-year-old person. It's not like we're going to be able to get this person to talk louder. You get what I'm saying? So try your best to get closer, get into a quiet place to hear what they're saying, because I can make it out, and just to give you a heads up.
Believe in violence. The violence was given to us by the Zionist movement. We need to do some research. We need to read about the history. They tell us there is no Palestine. They tell us we're Palestinians. Saying it does not mean so. We are Palestinians.
It doesn't help that the people in the back are blowing their horns, so maybe we won't be able to show that one and hear sound. So maybe I'll play that in the back so you can just see that later. Let's see if we can get a better. This looks like a closer video, so maybe this is a better quality sound, because I begin to where I couldn't even understand what he was saying. The caption of this one says, Palestinians at the Free Palestinian protest was simply asking for human rights and human dignity. This one's a minute and a half, 90 seconds.
Not just a slogan. It's call for justice, equality, and human rights. As the law human rights law student I'll be talking about, it's a plea to recognize the aspiration of people who wish to live in their homelands without walls, checkpoints, or blockades. It's a reminder that every child in Gaza, or mainly in Palestine, had the right and the dream for a future where they can play, study, and grow without the shadows of conflict looming over them. When we raise our voices for free Palestine, we're standing on solid ground, backed by international decisions. The United Nations, in one of its resolutions, highlighted the importance of withdrawing from occupied territories. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted in 1948, promises every individual the right to freedom, justice, and peace. The Fourth Geneva Convention of 1949 clearly states that civilians must be protected during conflicts, and the occupying powers cannot move their own population into the territory they occupy. These are not just opinions, they are commitments made by the global community. So when we support Palestine, we're just repeating what the world has agreed on. Thank you, everyone. Free Palestine!
All right, so now we get into some of Rome's video. It's less speech talking, it's just more you see them walking and marching. Let's listen to, or let's watch Rome. And again, this is not necessarily speaking, it's just showing them walking. Now we're moved to Detroit for this. Is this? Yeah, here we go. All right, so that one, and then Rome saw this sign on this car. It says, "This Jew says, stop the genocide of Palestinians." Here's another one, and Rome was just saying, "I love this van." Here's another one of Rome marching out in front. You can see the people marching. You can see more people back here marching. They're marching in the rain. It looks like it was raining earlier, but that's Rome right there, out there in the march. Let's see if he has a caption. He says, "We here." It just shows one Palestinian flag in his car. So that's another one. This is him with his two of his little ones. They went to the march with him. He's bringing them up, training them in the revolutionary style already. I'll let it loop. let it loop here. All right, so let's see. Then we move into JB's, but I think there's a Rome one up here. Oh no, sorry, there's a KC one. So let's show all of JB's together. So here is more KC, and this is just pictures. This is Nick out at the KC event. You can see it's a lot of people. Let me actually I didn't read this. Let me read this. It says free Palestine, free it says for free Palestine. And then let's read this sign. Resistance to apartheid is not terrorism. Just showing the crowd there. So just 4 pictures to show there. Now let's get to some of the JB pictures. Here goes JB. Now we move to Florida. So this is a different event. We covered the KC event in Missouri. Then we went over to Michigan to the Detroit event with Rome. Now we, move down to the Florida event in Orlando. Showing some pictures. There's one of the signs. It looks very similar to downtown Long Beach, tall buildings and the palm trees. So, and thinking about moving, Florida is one of the states that I told my wife, conservative state, I would be okay with moving. I said Florida and Arizona. So we'll see. Here goes JB here. That's a large crowd out there in Orlando. Yeah, that's awesome to see JB out there. JB is disabled. I don't know if everybody know this. He get dialysis Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So it's amazing to see him out there to do this. Just showing more in the crowd above him. Lots of people. That's just amazing to see people come out for it. And just a couple more pictures. I think I showed you that one earlier. And then there's this one here. There's this one here. In all U.S. aid to Israel, exit, resist, and return. And then there's the flag. So, and I think there's one more video of, I think JB showed somebody speaking. This looks like more like a rally here. Let's listen.
Palestinians don't deserve life. Palestinians deserve life. Palestinians deserve freedom. Palestinians deserve justice.
Great to see. And yeah, I got all of, so that's the RBN coverage of the various Palestinian resistance events around the nation. That's 3 different states, 3 different cities, and 3 different states you saw there. So that is fantastic to see.